Hello everyone and welcome to the first channel update for my channel. As always, I am Tirak, your host, and today we are playing just a real brief match from a skirmish of Starfleet Command Orion Pirates Plus mod. For those interested, we are fighting against a Klingon D7 and we are in a CAR, which is beautifully modeled as the typical Constitution class. You really don't see this ship enough in the Orion Pirates Plus simply because the early era does not last long, and frankly, compared to most warships in this game, the standard Connie not so great. But anyway, so we have successfully finished the first season of Orion Pirates Plus mod with the end of the Federation campaign, and I want to thank everybody who took the time to watch and enjoy and leave comments and likes. It really meant a lot to me. It's nice to see that there's still a community out for a game that is 17 years old at this point, and I'm enjoying playing it a ton, so I'm fully planning on continuing to keep going. The Federation campaign ended really well. We had ended up finishing off the entire Klingon Empire, wiping them out of every single tile on the map, taking their homeworld, and completed everything in wonderful final battle fashion by getting into a fight against a C-10 Dreadnought. Honestly, things probably couldn't have gone any better, and I'm really happy that you guys were all along for the ride for that one. One of the reasons why I'm really enjoying this partially is because, one, the community around Starfleet Command, it doesn't seem to have a huge presence online, but those of you that have left comments, everybody has been so wonderful, and I just, again, really want to emphasize thank you for taking the time to watch. The next campaign we're going to move on to is going to be the Klingon side of the street. We will be commanding Klingon vessels and moving up the ranks of the Klingon Empire. The plan will be to subjugate the Hydran Star Kingdom. We're going to take a little bit of our wrath from having to constantly put up with the Hydrans not helping out on shipyard assaults in a proper way by folding them back into the Klingon Empire. It's going to be a much different campaign. Things are going to be, well, more difficult, quite frankly. At least as far as I'm concerned. I'm not really used to flying Klingon ships. I'm not used to the way that they emphasize speed over solidity. I mean, normally when I play the race that I normally play when I'm just screwing around on here, it's the Marak. So it's all about missile barrages and setting up long-range combat fire. Now, granted, Klingon disruptors do mean that you play at long range, but it's not quite the same thing. Especially because, if you notice, even this D7 cruiser has red shields, and it's not just because we've been savaging his flanks. It'll definitely be a different style of play. I'm really hoping, though, that we will have just as much success as we had with the Federation, and finishing off an Empire that was a major nuisance for most of the campaign. That's really all I've got in terms of channel update news. Just announcing the next season. Upload schedule is going to continue as normal. It's going to be an upload a day at about noon, or whatever your regional equivalent has been so far. It's going to be around the same time as always. And yeah, that's really about it. Other than that, just let's enjoy this footage of us being able to command a Constitution class as we get into a nice long fight with a D7. Now, one of the problems that early ships have, quite frankly, is the fact that they are, well, undergunned. I suppose not so much when you consider how much power they have to play with. It's really not a whole lot. But Federation ships, especially, 4 photon torpedoes and 6 forward-firing phaser ones, it's not tremendous. And so you get into these long, slow, almost frigate-like brawls, I want to say. Don't get me wrong, it is enjoyable, and this sort of slower pace of the game definitely allows you to appreciate a few more of the strategic and tactical decisions that you gotta make that, well, when you have an X-ship, you can just sort of blast right through them, because you have amazing shields and even more amazing weapons. But still, it can be a little bit of a weird experience, especially since, well, we are just coming out of a X-type heavy cruiser. And I want to see if I can continue to work on his flank. Unfortunately, we have no shields really left to play with at this point. And are managing to really savage his rear, though. He's down to a single phaser on his collar and a single phaser that can fire in a forward weird pie shape. He's also got 3 disruptors, but I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to use them very much. So we're just going to swing out around here, use the fact that we're still pretty much at full power for this. I'm not entirely sure why I even repaired that engine. We weren't that far down. But hey, everything is good when it comes to having power and labs for regeneration. One of the greatest advantages we have being Federation is that wonderful regeneration rate. Twice as fast as everybody else. I'm just going to cut right in. We've got full weapons, everything's loaded, and we're at relatively close range. Yeah, we managed to hit with a couple of them. Bring up the other two phasers. Yeah, and he's just... oof, he's lost all his phasers. He's down just to these two disruptors. He wouldn't even be able to hold us if we attempted to capture. Oh, he's got 4 people on board, so it would hold a little while, but... there we go! And there it is. Federation cruiser, superior to a D7. I'll admit, we actually were in a CAR, which has an additional set of 2 phaser ones, but that's a minor thing. Anyway, just a real quick... this video is going to be less than 10 minutes, so the shortest we've really ever done on this channel. Just real quick update, what's going next. It's going to be a Klingon campaign. We are fighting the Hydrons. I look forward to going into it. And thank you everybody for sticking around and watching. Until Season 2 begins, I've been Tarek, and I will see you all next time.